What is going on, Collectors? Optical 20 back again for another review. Today we are gonna take a look at War Machine Diecast version. This is the reissue, and you can purchase this at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. So I got a second chance of owning this magnificent figure. Thank God for reissue, right? Because I missed out on the first one. Not that I wasn't collecting, but I wasn't into Iron Man anymore when this was, released. It felt like there's so many Iron Man, and there still is. The difference is I don't see Iron Man anymore. So naturally, I have this longing feeling for all these, armors that I never got. This Mark 5 recently that I just got as well. If they released Mark 6, you know what? I'll get that too. So now it's a bit different than back when this was first released, and I got it. I got it now. Are we gonna see a reissue of a reissue? Perhaps. I don't know. But I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna enjoy the moment that I do finally can unbox and have this beautiful figure. And you see that they got the salute hand right here for this War Machine, which is my technically second one in the collection if you don't count Iron Patriot as a War Machine. So previously, and I'm gonna make a separate video about my War Machines, because I technically have 4, if you consider Punisher War Machine a War Machine, I guess. But at the bottom, you see here there's 2 trays as usual for diecast figures. This is the thing on his calves, so you can cover it up, and you take out the tray, and this has, you can clearly see right away this beautiful base that he does have. It makes me feel really dumb now that I sold my Whiplash Mark II for $250, the diecast version, and also my Mark 6, also I think around that price, maybe $300, the diecast version as well. Because again, when I sold them, I don't want any. I was kind of marveled out, not just Iron Man out, but marveled out. So I was just like, you know what, I want something different, which is the exact opposite of what I want now. I want every Marvel character known to mankind, from phase 1 to 3 though, nothing from phase 4. But yeah, I mean, this guy is loaded with accessories, and you got this, I forgot the name of this. Is this the Widowmaker or something like that, or the ex-wife, something like that, ex-wife. Yeah, you got that. You got this nice shoulder cannon that he does have, and this is, you can replace this as well, and I'm gonna paste this accessories because he does come with a lot. Nice details in here. You can rotate the many parts in here. You can rotate the head in here, this barrel. You could roll this as well. You can't have it stand up though, kind of like the other War Machines. There's tons. I think there's Mark 6 War Machine right now. So there's also a lot of War Machine armors, outside of the traditional ones. You got the funny looking ones, the neon text and all that stuff. I don't even count them, but this is another one that people have been waiting back then. The Hammer Drones, I believe, isn't that the Hammer Drones? This is like a remain of Hammer Drones, right? They would have been a nice complementary piece to him, and I know they're gonna make Mark 6 again. Just announce it, Hot Toys. Just don't be shy. Just announce Mark 6. While you're at it, announce more of the Hall of Armor as well. And this is the replacement piece, the battle damage replacement piece for that Gatling gun that you've seen. This is for his right shoulder, and I love this battle damage pieces. It just adds texture. It adds a lot to the figure, and you see here, and I'm gonna show you how to install them and how they look like after everything's installed. And you see, they're magnetized, Even the battery compartment does have, which is kind of silly because it's in the back. So is this thrusters, but I think they do change the dynamic. They didn't have to do this, right? But they did, which is pretty awesome. And this is the chest plate as well. So you add battle damage. The shoulder piece, which is not a whole lot of battle damage in there compared to the one that he does have already. And of course the face plate of his helmet. And now we're gonna take a look at the armor itself. This Mark 1 is famous for being bulky. He's built like a tank. And that is a good thing. We're talking about War Machine in here. So you wanted something a little bit more with a punch. And the succeeding War Machine, and it got kind of slimmer and slimmer. And I guess that comes to the evolution of the suit. You want him to move around a little bit more. After this movie, he went Iron Patriot, basically. Is it Iron Man 3 right away, or Age of Ultron, I think? And then he got the slim version of that, which wasn't really a big hit with a fan, to be quite honest with you. The slimmed down version, historically for War Machine, hasn't been a big hit. So Mark 1, people loved it. As you can see here, I would say this is my favorite armor, but I'll discuss that. I'm not definitive yet, right? Because I do like Mark 4 from Infinity War as well. I do like how this is constructed, though. Look at those guns on both of his hands. And what I love about this figure compared to Mark 4 is that it's not removable. Instead, what they did was there's a hinge where you can open and close it, strategically putting the switches for the light up function on those compartments, so to speak. Everything in this guy is kind of integrated. Well, not everything. You can see the magnets in the back. I removed them so you can kind of see it from the back side. You see there's one for Mark 1, and you see the Air Force insignia in here. It's Colonel Rhodes. He does fly and all that stuff. But overall, in the armor itself, you see all the battle damage pieces in there. I mean, the paint application, it's not completely damaged, but it's not going to look out of place once you insert those pieces. And speaking of those battle damage pieces, let me just show you. This is not a battle damage one, but it does show, you can see those details inside, and they're magnetized as well. Now, the biggest piece, as you know, is the chest plate. So you kind of pop off using those, just your fingers. You see this nice details on the chest when you remove it. And once you insert the extra chest plate, that is beautiful. You see bullet holes. And compared to the clean version, it has some missing, pieces on the side that would expose the internals of War Machine. And on the back, this thrusters or jetpack, whatever you want to call them, it also has some scuffs in it, which is cool. Again, they didn't have to because this is the back of the figure, but I love swapping out battle damage pieces. I think it adds to, it feels like it adds to the value of the figure, that you don't feel the need that you need a separate figure with a battle damage on it. And as you can see there, it does add a lot, not just paint, but you can see the scratch and in the dent, and there are two separate pieces in here with two different damages. They could have cheaped out and probably copied it, but hey, talking about Hot Toys here. And this is the middle piece where you actually hide the batteries, so you could replace that, but I didn't. So it's an option. All options are always good. And you can see the barrel of his gun in here. So initially I thought it was just that, but you remove this entire piece that would expose that. So this would have been nice as a magnet piece, though, instead of that, putting the peg and all that stuff. Even the back for this Gatling gun is kind of old school, but then again, this is old. And another battle damage piece here is the inner left hand that you kind of pop out, which is a bit random, to be honest with you. But hey, it is there, so you might as well take advantage of it, right? You take it out and you kind of expose it there, and then you put this in, and as you can see, it does also have that kind of like a scratched mark. And of course, the faceplate. Let's jump into the head sculpt. You can just remove this faceplate. They're magnet, so it's pretty easy to, take on and off, switch it out, because there's two head sculpts in here. One of them is the light up head sculpt, and the other one is the one with a Don Cheadle face underneath. And depending on your mood, whether you're the type of collector who doesn't install batteries, then most likely you are gonna, put the Don Cheadle head sculpt in it, which hasn't changed, to be honest with you, since the beginning of War Machine time, which is not a bad thing. So you can prop it up, but I feel like it's a bit low. It should be up here, right? Because my camera's leveled. And I think again, even back in the day, I feel like this is a pretty strong likeness to Don Cheadle. You see right here, let's move it side to side. And, you could pop this in, again, swap out the head sculpt. The jaw portion, you can pull it down and up. It's articulated as well. You could insert the War Machine head sculpt if you want to. That's an option. I don't want to, but the light up functionality though is nice because it's red. Another thing that I do like about this War Machine is, it does have that red eye, which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it is nice. I love it. And overall, even the clean faceplate still has a little bit of those, as you can see, those like speckles of dust, or I don't know what you call that, paint imperfections in the faceplate. And it adds more realism, in my opinion. It adds more like grit into, this is War Machine we're talking about here. So I love the fact that it's there. I love this War Machine first and foremost, but yeah, this thing is awesome. You can see the battle damage on his shoulder, and now articulation wise, the head sculpt, it is imperative that it goes up because he does fly, so it can move all the way up. The shoulders, you can move around. This is an Iron Man figure, so you can, you already know this has tons of mobility. This one, I love this. You see that? You expose the battery section and you don't have to take it out. It's there. There's a hinge. And that's the battery compartment. And it's so easy and accessible whenever you want to turn it on and off. I love that fact. The side panels, yes, you could move that up. And then, you can move around the legs and whatnot. He is a tank, by the way. He's a tank. So, be careful in handling him. He's really heavy. There's a lot of sharp edges in here as well. His legs does, has just some foot articulation there. You could also extend the waist, just like any Iron Man. Also the legs, you can pull it down, whenever you want to, to give that extra motion or room if you need one. And you can, this is the best way to do so is, you gotta move the shoulder bits first, so you don't, you avoid contacts between the die-cast pieces. So, a point of avoiding paint rubs. In here, you can press that up. That is the switch on the back. That's the switch. So you look at the light. It's pretty bright, to be honest with you here. And then this thing is, you kind of press it and you expose the battery section. And those are the thrusters on the back. There's like little mini thrusters here as well that rolls. That is attention to detail at its finest from Hot Toys. So I love that. Now, he also has some on his cabs. Again, you could move this as well. Look at all those details. you got a good thing when you have. If this is your first diecast Iron Man, you're in for a treat because every Iron Man basically has that feeling for me. Before we wrap this thing up, let's put some poses. This is the garden when they kind of fought. Honestly, there's not a whole lot of War Machine sightings, like different locations at least for this guy, because I know I've been looking for materials and how to put this in there, and there's not a whole lot, not gonna lie. So this is one of those, his battle with the hammer drones and whatnot. It was pretty cool. So he was just there with Mark 6, and now this is him. I just want to compile a pose here where I'm utilizing the lights, like with his eyes, with his two hands right there in his chest, and kind of in a battle mode right here. See, he's ready to battle. You see those HUDs going off on his sides, ready to just engage. I love it, man. I love this War Machine. It is it's loaded. He's massive. It's like a tank. Has a lot of weapons and mechanical weapons at it. And here he is too, just kind of like, again, this is the full-blown battle mode, not the other one, because you can see the ex-wife on his shoulders and the other missile, which is integrated, by the way. I didn't show it on the, I forgot to show it on the video, but it's not something that you take out and put back in. No, it's in the figure all the time. So you pull down the shoulders, it's spring loaded, so you kind of like have to tuck it in, kind of like the old school plastic Mark III. That's what I do love about this Iron Man, specifically with this War Machine, because everything is integrated and it's there when you want it. When you want to showcase the shoulder, all you gotta do is pop it out. That's all you need to do. You don't need to go to your tackle box and go to your accessory box and all that stuff. Only the battle damage pieces, if you want to swap them out, are gonna be left in there. The cannons on the side of the arms are always there. Those shoulder weapons are there. So it's an amazing figure. Honestly, I love this War Machine, and it's one of those figures that I am pretty certain that is just gonna stay with me. Like, I already made a pact. I might sell everything in my collection outside of few pieces, but I'm pretty certain my Hall of Armor is gonna stay, and at least a couple of War Machines. And this is probably one of them, and the other one's most likely gonna be Mark IV. But we shall see what tomorrow brings us. But man, so far I am so impressed with this figure. If you are an Iron Man aficionado and you don't have this yet, do yourself a favor and get one, because I would say it's up there as one of the best Iron Man figures you will ever own. It's just fun. It's just fun. It gives you that old school vibe, where especially on the shoulders, man, and those thrusters on the back, it gives you that Iron Man plastic feel, where the back then the Iron Man 3, the plastic ones, the shoulder missiles are just integrated. Nowadays they're magnetized. So I love that. But let me know in the comments how you feel about this figure. Are you gonna get one, or are you just Iron Man'd out as well? I would love to hear your thoughts. Are you gonna wait for a sale on this? So yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully you like this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.